All right, my friends, welcome to another Let's Talk with the Doc. I'm excited to be here. I know that sounds like a scratch record, but believe me, I am excited. And when I look who is my guest, it creates even more excitement because I have Sister Raquel Bonnick, and she is the Minister of Music in the Northeast region and Bermuda of the Church of God of Prophecy. And I can tell you, she knows what she's doing. All right. So we are going to get to some of that sometime later, but stay right there. When I come back, I'm going to be talking to Raquel. ORB Ministry presents Let's Talk with the Doc. Grace Without Borders podcast. A thought for you. Ask Pastor. And a whole lot more. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. All right, so here we are live with Sister Raquel Bonnick. Welcome to Let's Talk with the Doc. Good to have you.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here. Good
All right.
evening.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. Thank God.
Okay. How was your day today?
The day was pretty busy, but thank God it's over. And I'm looking forward to some sweet rest.
Some sweet rest. Okay.
Yes.
How would you classify sweet rest?
Sleeping.
Sleeping is
Just
sweet
getting some
rest.
good, yes, good sleep rest.
Are you a good sleeper?
Um, it depends. Sometimes not. But
You're a hard
yeah.
sleeper, or do you get deep?
No,
Get
very light.
very light
Very,
sleeper?
very light sleeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you frequently go into deep sleep?
Not frequently, no.
No. So that means you wake up a lot of times and you're not well rested.
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay. So then you need to go to sleep earlier. So hopefully
Yeah,
you can become better. All right. All right. So I'm glad to have you on the program with me tonight.
I'm glad to
Um,
be here.
and I'm glad to get to know you because I know, if anybody asks me who's Raquel, I could tell her, oh, well, tell them, oh, well, you know what? She's our music ministry director in the Northeast region. Boy, she can lead a worship. She can lead a praise. She's really good at it. She got a voice and she got passion. She's like, and maybe I get stuck there. I
Wow.
don't even know if I could tell them where she goes to church.
Wow.
'Cause,
Okay.
I think there was a time when you used to go to Manhattan.
Yes.
Okay, so that I think I know that much, and then I'm stuck after that. So so
Okay.
so let me see if I can get to know Raquel. So
Okay.
normally I try to find out from my guests, where were you born? What were things like when you were growing up? Do you have siblings? What was the family dynamics? What the environment you grew up in, stuff like that. So I can get to lay the foundation. If you can reflect and go back and say, I was born here. I have two siblings. I am the first, the third, in the middle. It was this, like that. So I like to pick it apart and see how much you can tell me. And again, on this program, you can say as much as you want to. You can say as much as you don't want to.
Okay. Okay. Well, I was born in the Bronx, New York.
Oh, you actually were born in the Bronx.
I was born in Bronx Lebanon Hospital, which is
See,
no longer.
see, so already I'm wrong.
Yep. A lot of people think I was born in Jamaica, but no.
Oh
Born right
wow.
here in New York. Yes.
Oh
My
wow.
sister and I. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I am the fourth of five children.
All
I
born
have
here?
my brothers were born in Jamaica, but my
Okay.
sister and I were born here. Yeah.
Okay. So origin parents. So you're American Jamaican parentage. So what have they told you about the history back then in Jamaica? Born here, there, coming to America. What can you give us a little insight in that part of your story?
Well, let's see, what can I remember now? So my mom was born in Manchester, I
Okay.
believe, in the
Okay.
country. But she has very fond memories of that. My sister and I didn't experience that growing up, of course, but when my mom tells the stories, it makes us feel like, we're
I
there.
I almost make you
Wish we
live it.
could be there. Yes, yes, yes. Um, don't know too much about my dad, but and he's gone now. But
Mm, sorry
yeah,
about
thank you. But yeah, it was my parents. My mom, she had a full family too, 8 children, I think. How many boys? Two boys and 6 girls. So large family, and her parents had a farm,
that.
and
Mm.
so every time I hear preachers talk about, when they grew up, and when I grew up, we had chickens and cows, and I was like, yeah, I've heard all the stories, and
Oh.
it sounds really good. Just sounds wonderful,
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So since that you weren't born in Jamaica, so I'm curious about what part of your mother's story sounds more fascinating to you as a child growing up, and what you hear childhood, and maybe what your brother told you as childhood experience in Jamaica. What can you recall as a fascinating story? I wish I was part of that, if anything.
Well, her stories of working with her father, like on the farm, or they would tell her to do something and she would go do it. And one of the stories she would talk about is at the end of the day, dinner time, her mom would share out the dinner. Of course, uh, her grandfather would get his dinner first, and every time, and when he's finished, then the kids would go and kind of get, the leftover, and it would be so
Oh,
sweet, she said.
oh wow.
So that was like,
Oh, the
wow,
leftover
that's
from the
wonderful.
grandfather. Okay, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I can
yes.
understand that part.
Hmm.
Grandfather, when you get some of the grandfather's food,
Hmm.
is like the best part because
Yeah.
in the culture growing up,
Hmm.
it's not like that now.
Right.
But when I was growing up, they they used to give the husbands, the man in the house, almost all the meat.
Yes.
They'll give the man
Yes.
almost all the meat, and
All the
then they
meat.
give the kids the little
Hmm.
riffraff of the chicken. Like,
Right.
yeah. So yeah, but they have that has changed a long
Hmm.
time ago.
Yes.
But yes,
Yes.
sometimes the poor man can't even eat it, so you can understand if he likes his grandchildren, which they normally
Hmm.
do, he would like his
Right.
short piece here and there and there. So yeah, that
Hmm.
was that was fascinating.
Yes. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
you weren't born in Jamaica, you were born
No.
here. All
Right
right, so
here.
she's full bred New Yorker.
Yes.
All right. All right. Okay. So tell me about New York born. What has it been like um in your family? You don't understand the Jamaican culture by experience. You get to know it by being surrounded by it. So I can't talk Jamaican. Well, maybe because some people are really good at adapting and catching
Hmm.
on to.
Hmm.
So maybe you've been culturalized, if I could use that term, in the Jamaican thing, because it's your environment. So tell me
Yeah.
what it's been like, for Raquel, born in New York. No, you can tell me the difference, how your brother feels about you being born in New York. What's the communication? What has it been like between you and your siblings? So you had two siblings, you say?
I have four siblings.
Four
So
siblings.
I have one sister, three brothers.
Okay, and where you fall in that?
I'm number four. So the
Number
first
four.
girl.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you kind of okay, split up in the middle there, kind of.
Yeah.
All right. So what
Mhm.
was it like for Raquel? You know, born in Queens, growing up in Queens. What's it been
Born
like?
in the Bronx.
Born in the Bronx. My
Born in
apologies,
the
the
Bronx. That's
Bronx.
okay. Well, we were latchkey kids. My mom was on her own, and so she had to take care of five children. My brothers were born in Jamaica, so at some point they came and they joined us here, and we got along very well, very well. I just have fond memories of my brothers, my sister, growing up, listening to music after school, doing our homework. And my mom, God bless her, while she was at work, we were home and we had our chores to do and then make sure we did them before she got home, you know. But it was a good childhood.
Was a Christian environment, or so you're born
Yes.
into a Christian environment?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's all you know in home.
And home.
All right. Okay. All right. So as you grow up now, I'm in the Bronx.
Hmm.
This is the Bronx. Now, where what section of the Bronx were you? North Bronx, South Bronx?
South Bronx.
So you're in
Like,
South Bronx. South Bronx has the reputation of being the hot part of the Bronx.
yes. Yes. I
All
don't
right.
remember much of it, but growing up, we lived a lot of years at University Avenue in the Bronx. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It had
Was
its issues, it had its moments, but we moved on.
have
It
you
had
have
its
you
challenges,
is that to put it mildly?
to put it mildly. Yes, but it
Okay.
wasn't terrible back in those days. It really wasn't that bad.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So by experience, has it gotten worse than then, or it's kind of keeping its reputation level?
I think it's gotten worse. We since we've moved up a little bit north. Going back there a couple of times, just passing by in the hood and seeing the differences. It's not like it was when we
Hmm.
were growing up there. You know,
Okay.
things happen. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So growing up with your siblings, tell me who dominates. Is there a dominant child in the pack, or where did you fall in terms of temperament control? What was it like with Raquel? Just a cool sister or big sister with authority?
Mm. I was cool, very quiet. My mom said I was a very quiet child, and I'm still quiet to this day. Um, yeah, I wasn't the leader of the pack. No, my brothers kind of did that, and my sister and I, we just fell in line. Yeah.
My friends, I'm talking to Raquel Bonnick. Of course, she is a singer, a praise leader, a worshiper, and she's just a vessel that makes herself available for God to use her. And I'm excited to have her with me tonight. All right. So tell me, as you grow up now, going to school, what it was like going to school, Brown School. Um, Give me a little bit of insight into the growing up experience.
Going to school. School was okay. Um, we took the bus, public transportation, to and from school. We didn't have anyone to take us to school and pick us up after school, but it was fine. That's what we knew and that's what we did. But it was fine. Um, we all finished high school. We all went our separate ways pretty much after that. My brothers moved out on their own, and my sister and I kind of stayed with mom. You yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So as growing up now, when did Raquel know what? So give me a little bit of insight on the church life then, because school was cool.
Mm.
Church, are your parents from the church? Got a prophecy originally?
I think my mom was in a different church at first. I don't remember what sect, but she became prophecy 70s, early 70s, before I was born, I believe. She'll
Okay.
correct me later if I'm wrong.
Okay, in the 70s, well, a
Mhm.
lot of us have been. I've been in the from the 60s, so so it's been a while since I've been around there. But,
Mhm.
um, uh, so tell me what church life was like as a young girl growing up. Church life, going to church, going to school. What was church life like to you as a young lady, before 10, 11, 12,
Mhm.
if you can recall that? What was church life like to you?
Well, we were always in church. There was Sunday, there was Bible study, there was Friday, there was this, there was always something going on in church. And you had to go to school the next day. And then there were revivals, and you still had to go to school the next day every night. There was church, but you had to be at school the next day. So we were always in church, but we loved it. It was great, and we had great times, had great memories, great
Yeah.
leaders we've had. Yeah, church was good.
What were your involvement in church, if any?
Okay, so I've taught Sunday school. I've
That's when you get
ushered.
older. When
I
you
was
get
gotten
older,
older. Yeah.
okay, so younger, because I'm trying to figure the talent. Where did the talent, if there was a talent discovery. I'm trying to see, what was little Raquel doing in church at the little childhood days.
hmm my memory is very shady. My sister has the memory when it comes to our childhood, but I do remember. I don't even remember who asked me to sing. My first solo was by Tremaine Hawkins in church. And it was "Look at Me, I have been set free, all my sins are washed away." I don't know if you know that song, but it was Tremaine Hawkins. And that was my first solo, and that kind of
You
got
started
me.
off with Tremaine Hawkins.
Yes, we love Tremaine Hawkins. My family, we love music. We always listening to music. And we
So,
love, yeah.
at what age was that when you're gonna sing a Tremaine Hawkins song at church?
I think that was about 8 or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, were you practicing like off the scene? I'm sharpening up just in case, or how did they discover you to say, okay, sing a song, and how did you come up with that song? Because first of all, somebody had to discover you as singing, and then for you to choose that song,
Mhm.
you must have had some kind of fantasy, love, attachment to that song.
I don't know. I just like the song. And I said, well, I could do this song, and and I don't even remember practicing as much like that. But I do remember singing it in church. And as far as the reception of it, I don't remember that either. But I do remember that I love Tremaine Hawkins and I love to sing those songs.
See,
And
somebody said that your dad was a singer, so I don't know.
my dad was a singer.
Okay, so give you a little bit of insight what you heard about your dad as a singer.
Well, I heard that he did record an album.
Oh,
Where it is now, I can't tell you, but more like country music.
hmm.
Yeah.
Has he been here or back in Jamaica?
Well, he was here in the States somewhere, not quite sure. He moved around, so he wasn't with us for a while, but he did. He played guitar as well. My
Okay.
mom played guitar for a little bit too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's
yeah.
interesting.
It is. So I told my son AJ because he likes guitar. I said, "Well, you have roots in guitar, you know.
Okay, okay. Well, I didn't
It
even
makes sense."
I didn't know you. I didn't know you even know you have a son. So I don't know anything
Mm,
about Raquel. So
oh.
I know nothing. So I'm going to be I'm climbing up the ladder now to see what I can find out. Maybe after tonight, I'll be able to tell somebody a little bit about Raquel.
Mhm.
Because number one,
Okay.
I didn't know you were born in the Bronx, so that's my
Mhm.
that's my starting point. And I said, oh, she's from
Yeah.
Jamaica. I said, oh. Oh, and she said, "Oh,
No,
I'm not actually, I was born here." Okay,
born here.
did your mom sing too? Because normally musicians sing
Yeah,
as well.
my mom sings as well. Yes,
Okay, all right. So which one of them have you ever listened to any of your father's songs? Have you ever heard any song that he sang?
yes, he has a good voice. Had a
Okay,
good voice.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. What's one of his songs that you can recall?
I'd have to get back to you on that. I don't really recall
when,
recall
when,
much.
when we come back to talk music, maybe. Okay,
Maybe
okay,
maybe I
all
can
right,
find something by then.
okay, um, okay. So you sung your first song, and then what?
I'm not really sure. Between then and being asked to lead the song services because it wasn't praise and worship back then, you know, that it just started from there. I'm not quite sure, in between singing that solo and late years later being asked to do that, but I haven't stopped since. So
You haven't stopped since.
singing, and
Wow,
worship, no,
wow. So that's part of your system.
yeah.
Um, when did you know what you want to become? I don't know what you have become, so I'll get to there. Yeah. So
Mhm.
when did you know? When did you know what you want to become when you grow up? When you say, "Okay, when I grow up, I want to be this, I want to be that," because children always have fascination on attraction. That sometimes
Mhm.
sometimes they want to be 10 things, right? They're like this, that, 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 and then they eventually narrow it down to two or the three, or then it comes down to one. So when did Raquel say, "I want to become this," and what was that?
Well, I never said that I wanted to be a singer or in the spot. I don't like the spotlight. I don't like to be in front. I'm very introverted, and I like to be in the back. Most times, if I'm asked to do sing with a group per se, I'm not going to volunteer to be leading the group. I'll be in the back, holding down the harmony. That's where I'm more comfortable. But yeah, I I know when I was younger, I wanted to be a pediatrician
Hmm.
because I loved babies, but
Okay.
I can't take the crying. It hurts my heart when they cry. And I
Okay.
know, yeah,
Okay. So
I
you
wouldn't be
can't
able
take
to
the
do
crime
that.
because of the hurt. You feel that there something is not well.
Yeah,
And instead of say, okay, I will do what I can to make it well, as I can take the crying in order
yeah,
to.
yeah. We just left that quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Um,
was it? What was the motivation? What was the inspiration of loving children?
no, guess you could say it was innate. I just love children. We were always around people that had kids, and we were always babysitting somebody's baby. And even our own family members, we would keep our cousins, bring them to church. They'd come spend the weekend. Um, just love children.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So we didn't the pediatrician thing didn't. Okay, we throw that aside because
Hmm.
there's something about it. I like one side, but I don't like the other side,
Hmm.
and I don't like the other side enough not to pursue it. So where did diverting go?
So, to say that I am where I want to be now, I can't say that right now. What I wanted to be when I grew up, I don't really know. I'm still searching, to try and decide what is it that I really want to do, you know,
When you grew up.
um, when I grow up. I know what I do now. I do a couple things now, but as far as my passion and career, let's say, we're still trying to figure that out.
So you still well, I mean, dreaming is forever, so you can always dream.
Hmm.
She's a silent river that runs deep, somebody says. That's Nicole.
Oh, wow.
Full of compassion, love, and care. She's a silent river that runs deep. Now I don't know. I don't know. I can't testify to that, Nicole, but I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it because Silent River really runs deep, and sometimes what you see out front here is not what the whole story is. But if anybody can tell me, then maybe I'll have to listen to Nicole. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, she's the one that remembers everything. So you
also,
might,
so
yeah,
that's your
might
sister.
need to tap her. Yes.
Okay, so maybe I'll have to bring Nicole on at one of these days to say,
Hmm.
tell me something, Nicole, that Raquel didn't remember or didn't want to tell me. All right,
Yeah.
so thank you for being there, Nicole. Welcome to this program. I'm talking to Raquel Bonnick, and she is passionate about music, praise, worship. We're gonna get there eventually, but we're trying to climb up and see if I can get to know her. All right, so you didn't become what you thought at first, and up to now you still say, I am not where I want to be,
Right.
still in the pursuit of something, but not
Yeah.
sure what it is yet.
Right.
So maybe one day you're just going to wake up and say, here we go, this is it.
That's the prayer. That's the hope.
Okay, all right. Okay, so growing up in church, leading what, song
Leading song
services.
services. Yeah. Sunday mornings when we get together. Yeah, it was mostly Sunday mornings. Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, so what do you want to know about that?
Well, I'm here to listen. I'm here to get any fascinating stories, the highs, the lows, the fascination, the heartbreaks, because I know church life. Church life has the whole package, right? Good, the bad, the ugly. Unfortunately, the church, you get the whole package in church. You got some grandma, some grandpas, some people who, sit down girl. I mean, you just never know who you're gonna run into. So I don't know what you're experiencing, but if church is church, then I can tell you it carries the whole package. Unfortunately, sometimes. So maybe you can
Mhm.
you can tell me some of the highs and the lows in those good times when you had good praise and sometimes you're disappointed. What was it like in terms of experience?
Well, one thing, we didn't have music for a long time in the Manhattan church. But one beautiful thing we did have was we had voices that could harmonize together. So it was three of us, four of us, my sister, my another sister, Janice, Ishana, Grant, um, and we'd come together and we'd lead worship Sunday mornings. And a lot of times we didn't prepare before. We didn't have rehearsals before. We'd come and we'd pray and we'd just lead worship, and it would be a blessing.
Wow.
Many times I look back, I reminisce on those days, kind of miss them sometimes. We get so caught up these days in and I love music, don't get me wrong, but sometimes we may do with what we had. We didn't have music, but we had our voices and we sang to the honor and glory of God, and we were bonded together in that way. It was great.
Yeah. Who was your pastor back then in your younger days?
Well, we had several pastors, and that's one of the things about church, at least my church. There was a lot of pastors
In the Manhattan church?
in the Manhattan church.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
I've never gone to the Manhattan church. I've
Mhm.
never been to a church in the Manhattan. I only knew of when Bishop Grant was there. I think
Mhm.
he was there one at a time. That's when we came to America. I think he was there that
Mhm.
time. That's much as I know about Manhattan. And I don't remember who came after that. I remember this
Um,
sequence.
I don't remember the sequence totally, but I know there was Bishop Royal, Bishop Cameron, Bishop Knight, Knights, um, definitely Bishop Grant, Bishop Newkirk, Bishop Edwin Newkirk, Bishop Jones, George Jones,
Hmm.
and he was musically fantastic.
Well, he
He
was
was a,
Mr. He was Mr. Piano or Mr. Organ for
absolutely, absolutely. Um, was there? Del Barnes.
Oh
We had two
wow.
sets of grants, two grants, Bishop Leslie Grant, and then we had Ronnie and Etta Grant. Um, who else? There were a few others that escape me at the moment, but yeah, we had quite a
Wow.
few pastors.
I had no clue. I had no clue that there were so many pastors in Manhattan. I mean, I'm not familiar because I came here in the 90s.
Mm,
I was in Western New York for
wow,
16 of those years, so I wasn't
wow.
too downstate connected to
Okay,
know, who was where. But I'm
gotcha.
surprised they had so many pastors down there. As Nicole said, James Brown. So that's a lot
Yes,
of pastors.
yes.
Were they going like 1 year, 2 years, and moving on?
Sometimes they were moved after a few years. Sometimes they just relocated. Some passed away. Some it was a lot. It was a lot.
Wow. I'm talking to Raquel Bonnick, the quiet introvert, as she's telling me. We're going to find out what maybe just need the spirit to take over to change that. Maybe need a mighty move of the spirit to see that's what shuffle things
My
up.
God.
Okay. So okay, you're uh, talent talented. You're blessed with talent, gifts and talents. I remember those days when we didn't have music. So for you to say, okay, to sing without music, it means you had voices. And to so who was the influencer, if I could use that, in the music department? Who was the one who said, this is what you're gonna sing? You're gonna sing alto, you're gonna sing tenor, you're gonna sing soprano, you're gonna sing this, that. Who was the organizer? Who identified the voices and said, this is what you're gonna do?
Okay, I kind of did that. Yeah,
So you are
I
the
did
one,
that a
you're
little
the
bit.
pinpoint that.
Yes, to tell the different parts. You sing alto, you sing tenor. Yeah, and not boasting because we didn't have any. I didn't have any formal training growing up. You know, and so when I get appointed to these positions, I'm very humbled because I don't have formal training in this, It's just what I've been doing since I was small. And it's a privilege,
Well,
and I'm honored.
experience teaches wisdom as well, right? So sometimes it's not all of the theoretical things and somebody teaches me how to do this, the octaves and the etc., the notes and the what they call it, the what's it, I'm trying to forget the music,
Chords, notes, chords.
chords and notes and all of that stuff, uh, so but experience teaches wisdom. And I said, as I grew up and I learned that. So tell me about your insight into music, because yeah, I don't have formal training, but boy, I know when it is right. Got my insight into it. I know when the altar is right. So how do you, what helps um uh Raquel to pinpoint back then the parts and when it's right?
Honestly, I don't even, I guess just listening to the music as much as I did and hearing the different parts in the music and just being able to relate that, well, this is what I'm hearing. You're in the middle. Is this too high for you? Okay, you go down a little bit more. And the people that were at our church, we all of us kind of had that gifting as well. Like they just chimed in. It wasn't a lot of work to get people to know what to sing, because everybody had that in their own right. Um, so it's good.
All right, all right. So you grew up now as a young lady, and where did life go? Where did life go for Raquel? I'm growing up now to be a young adult. Where did life go?
Well, it went different places that I didn't really plan to go. But I will say I do have a son. I did have a son before I got married.
Okay.
He's 31 now.
Oh, ooh.
Yes, yes. A lot of people don't know that. So when they see us, they think we're siblings. And we get that a lot when we go out.
Wow, because if I see you with
Yes.
a 31-year-old, well, I would not even begin to think that is your
Yeah.
son, because I don't, well, first of all, I don't know you. And I don't know anything about you. I don't know
Mhm.
your husband. I don't know nothing about, so I'm just trying to 31 years old. And somebody might say she looks like 41, but hey, that means
Oh,
she got
God
it.
bless you.
She
Thank you. God bless
Wow.
you.
So if you don't mind to tell us about that part of your story, because those are the inspirational part of stories. And the truth is, because we born and grow in church, but we don't always get everything right as human. Um, and because one stumbles and one makes mistake, doesn't mean your world crumbles.
Right.
Are you hit the cul-de-sac? And that is why I find stories fascinating and interesting and inspiring, because there might be somebody who say, you know what, I've been in the church, I have I have done all the good things, and unfortunately, I fell down. I went astray. I did the wrong thing. I get caught up, and one of my podcasts is Caught in the Middle, and I'm also writing a book on that. Caught in the middle, because there's so many of us who get caught in the middle of some things, but being caught in the middle of a circumstance doesn't mean that your world ends.
Right.
And somebody looked back and said, "Hey, she got a son 31 years old. She got a son before she was married, but now she is the regional worship praise leader." So it also tells somebody that because one stumbles doesn't mean God throw you aside. All
Right.
right, because your journey is not your destiny, and where you're coming from is not as important as where you're going.
Hmm.
So if you don't mind, you can share us a little bit more about that, because that might be an inspiration to somebody who say, you know what, I'm in the same place, but look at where she is. I could pick myself up.
Hmm. Well, what I think you mentioned earlier about the church and having to go before the church when you mess up and things like that. So that was my story. I had to go in front of the church and apologize for what happened and yeah. But I moved on. I did it because I love the Lord and I messed up, but I still love God, and I still wanted to be a part of the family of God. And doing that, it did hurt and it was humbling because I already know that I messed up, but to put that on blast in front of the whole church and then to ask for forgiveness, I was like, wow. Um, but God has been good to me, and I don't hold that against anybody. It happened, and I've moved on, and I know that God still has a purpose and a plan for my life, and um, I'm just gonna plan. I just live according to how He wants me to live. I'm still not who is perfect, right? We're still every day we're trying, and that's all I'm trying every day to please God in my life. But that was that was one aspect of church hurt for me. Um, but I still love everyone and still
I like to
putting it on.
piggyback on what you said, because this program is not only for you and me, right? And that's the interesting part of this. This is also for others who would listen to this program today, live, or tomorrow, or next week, or next month, or next year, or 10 years down the road. Somebody might listen to this program and said, I remember when she talked about her experience. Um, and I like to put emphasis, because I've been in pastoral work for 40 odd years, so, and I've seen it on all sides, and I know that people make mistakes. And you said something a while ago that is interesting, that you messed up and you knew it. People
Right.
didn't Nobody had to tell you that you got messed up,
I
because
sat myself down.
and that from church culture, church tradition. I sat myself down. I don't even know. And again, I might be one of the outsiders and the radicals that that's a little bit different from other people. And I don't know that sitting myself down or putting somebody to sit down is how you help them to become better. I don't know that that's the biblical approach to it. That's
Mm,
a church culture. We've developed that because we think it looks good,
mm,
but that doesn't always work out good for the person who is in the wrong, because that, God bless you because you came out of it. That didn't
mm.
work well for everybody else,
Right, right,
right? There are a lot of lives that never been restored because of the church pressure,
right.
right? The church pressure, because we think that one should make that kind of mistake, and we judge them, and we try them, and we sentence them, and we reject them, and we cast them away. And sometimes some people come to say, well, I knew there wasn't much good in him or in her, and so the judgment comes after, and the condemnation comes after, and the pressure comes that sometimes people can't live over the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but God bless you because his plan and purpose was for your life. And I say this time and again, I'm not preaching to you, I'm just saying because you say that. And as I said, this is not just for you, but for others who might be struggling right now. And even some preachers, some pastors who put people under too much pressure. Don't help them to get up, but press them down. That you don't have to tell somebody when they mess up. They know that they messed up. And what you need to do is to help them to come out of it. As I
Right.
normally quote Paul, he that is spiritual. If a
Mm-hmm.
man be overtaken with a fault, you that are spiritual, restore me in the spirit of meekness, considering
Right,
yourself, lest
right,
you also be tempted. So if we have that approach, we don't encourage people, because some say, oh, we don't condone. But what they call condone is condemn,
right.
or not condoning is condemning. But I'm happy to see you today, and I see you get up. Church think that we have to come out and make all this public confession and tell everybody what I did, and make my apologies, and that's a church system. That's a church system. Um, anyway, here you are.
Here I am, by the grace of God.
All right. Okay. So you live past that. You live
Hmm.
past that, and where did Raquel's life go?
So the marriage didn't work out either. So I am not married currently, and
Okay. So all right. So I'm pinning that. Okay. After that life experience, you got your son. How long after that did you get married eventually?
it wasn't long. It was he got married when he was one. He turned one.
Oh, so you married to the son's father.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Unfortunately.
even that, a lot of teaching, and I always tell, well, I close people, I don't blame anyone for my mistakes. I take responsibility for my mistakes. I just wish there was better guidance, I would say, before getting married.
Mm,
Um, I should have done more, been more proactive in knowing what it takes to be in a marriage.
mm.
Um, yeah. So,
So and again, I'm curious. Again, I'm talking to Raquel Bonnick, and I'm talking to her, hearing her story that I don't know. I never know anything about her story. And sometimes God just allows these things to happen because he wants to help somebody else. Um, so I remember back in my younger days, church, that people used to think if you got messed up with a guy or a girl, especially if you get a baby, then the next thing you should do is get married. You just get married, blindly get married, because you want to make things look better, or you want to make it appear like you fix it. All right, so you want to clear yourself so you can go on. So get married, and that is not always the best thing to do.
right.
Number one, because somebody has a baby for somebody, don't mean that person is good for your wife or your husband. That in itself is not a determining factor. Number two, as you said, not knowing enough or not being guided enough, because we never used to spend time to guide people. We never counsel people. We never help people to understand what they're going into, how to navigate the highs and the lows, and what to expect. And so people often go into relationship blindly. For me, as a marriage officer for many years, I have told everybody, I will not marry you if I didn't get time to counsel you. I won't do it, because I consider that it's like giving my son my new car key without giving him driving lessons,
Mm,
and just tell him, go drive, you test it and see if you like it. And then when he goes down the road and crash, God forbid, then I say, I'm going to blame myself. So I consider that in the same way of marrying people. If I don't get a chance to counsel you, I will not marry you, because I
mhm,
want you to know what you're going into, why, what to expect, how to navigate, how to deal with, how to respond, etc., etc.,
right.
what to anticipate
Exactly.
in marriage. So when you come across it, you're not surprised,
Right.
because you will come across them. But
Hmm.
that doesn't mean your marriage is going to break up because I run into ruts, or
Right.
potholes, etc., etc. So uh, we made some bad decisions and we've done some unwise things, but God got a way of bringing out some of us, and some of us didn't come out at all.
Mm, my God.
Unfortunately for you, that didn't go where you intended. So give me a little bit of insight into Raquel moving on and say, hey, my life, I gotta figure my life out another way.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm just seeking the Lord, just asking Him, whatever you want me to do, Lord, that's what I'm going to do. There was a time where I didn't want to do anything. There was a time where I was in a very dark place and I said no to a lot of things. And then, when God turned it around for me, I said, you know what, Lord, I'll stop saying no and I'll do whatever you want me to do. Um, so I've been getting a lot of invitations to minister at different places, and prayerfully, it's been a blessing. My whole desire is to be a blessing, to help someone else, mentor somebody, help somebody in some way. I don't know how, but I leave that up to God. He'll guide that path.
Do you tell your story to other people who might you see in the same position? Do you tell them where you've been and how you come out? Do you get the opportunity to use that experience?
I don't tell this much. No, this is the first I've really spoken on a platform such as this about my life.
Well, I don't mean on a platform particularly,
Hmm.
but I'm talking about
Or
individually.
or anyone, not really. Tight knit, like I have just few uh, friends, family that I speak with, but other than that, not a lot of people
So
know.
maybe somebody might say, "Oh, Sister Raquel, I didn't know that about you, and I've been in the same situation. How did you deal with it? How did you?" Because, and again, that's why stories are inspirational and they're life changing. Because
Hmm.
right now, you might not know. Only heaven will record when you get there, when we get there, that the Lord will say, "Hey, remember that program? This life you have changed. You have helped to change that life. You have turned this person around because of that program." Now, I could understand the self guilt and the judgment, and holding yourself hostage. And that's where this book comes in. Because if you never read this book, then you need to. Um,
Okay.
this book, Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold
Mm,
Me Hostage to My Past.
mm,
That's this book, to find hope and healing. Don't judge me by my scars or hold me hostage to my past.
Mhm.
Because when God called you, and again, I'm like I'm preaching and teaching. No, I'm like counseling, and that's not what I'm doing. But maybe that's what I need to
Right.
do right now. Maybe that's what
Right.
I need to do because um, and what I said to people, God called you for a purpose,
Mhm.
and He knew. Juliet is saying great book, so that she read that book. All right, thank you, Juliet. Appreciate that. Um, God saw your journey and destiny. I said it even to a couple weeks ago, preaching at my local church before I left there, that when God called you for something, He knew what your journey was going to be. He knew every place you would stumble, every place you would fall, all the mistakes you will make, but He still chose you.
Mhm.
He still chose you for that. So the only person that's surprising your struggles is God. Because sometimes we are surprised ourselves that we even fell for some things that we fall for. But God is not surprised because He foresees everything. But
Right.
He still calls you because He wants to use your journey as a testimony and your experience to help to pass it on to somebody. And said, been you know what I said again to other people? Almost all of God's servants in the Bible that we love and cherish,
Right.
almost every last one of them
Mhm.
stumble, struggle, fall down, did run, get up, God still used them.
Yeah.
And if that's where we look for examples, then we shouldn't be surprised if we have to do the same thing with other people, of showing mercy, grace, restoration, reconciliation, redemption, regeneration, all of those things that we preach and teach, and sometimes we do not demonstrate them other than talking about them.
Mhm.
Um, but the point is, I'm making that God knew where you were gonna stumble and how many times you're gonna stumble and how many times you're gonna get messed up. So say me, so say all of us, been there, done that,
Mhm.
right? Been there, done that. Walk the same road, but look where I am today
Mhm.
by the grace of
Mhm.
God, and that's
The
what
grace of
all of
God.
us need to survive God's grace.
Mhm.
So because somebody may be stumbling and struggle and fall down, don't mean God cast them away, and it doesn't mean that their gifts and talent die either.
Not at all.
So you not wanting to do this, not wanting to minister, not wanting to, let me stay in my shell because I don't want the critics, right? To
Right.
stop them out of the gainsayers.
Mhm.
Because once they get up and start singing now, they're gonna say, oh, look at her, she, and that all that they would have to say. So keep quiet, maybe gonna be my best shot. How did you break yourself out of that? Who broke you out of it?
Well, my family's a praying family, and my mother never stopped praying for me, my sister. Um, so that broke me out, the support of my family and the prayer. Um, I don't think I would have made it without them, honestly. You need somebody in your corner to pray for you when you can't pray for yourself. Um, and I had that, and I'm grateful for that. Still have that to this day.
Mhm.
So, after that, I keep coming to the house of the Lord, wherever that is, and just continue to do whatever it is He has for me to do.
And then Raquel break back into her whole self. So
Hmm.
tell me
Well,
how Raquel broke back into her whole self, where it said, you know what, like an old saying, bygones be bygones, right?
mhm.
Where I am, and again, you're a perfect example of where you're coming from. And I say this again, I have another book, the power of thoughts. And again, I'm not selling books, but I'm just talking about them. This talk about
I'm again.
the power of thoughts, right? The power
Okay.
of thoughts.
Hmm.
And one of the thought in that book is that there is a reason. There's a reason why your windshield is 100 times bigger than your rear view mirror.
Hmm.
right? The little rear view mirror, you look through on the
Mm-hmm.
windshield, and then the big
Yes.
windshield, and it just stack up there 100 times bigger, maybe close to that, because you glance where you're coming from,
Mm-hmm.
but you focus on where you're going. So you never get distracted
Mm-hmm.
by where you're going, because if you spend too much time looking at where you're coming from, then you might not make it to where you're going. You might run off the road. So you gotta
True.
let your rear be behind you as memories of where I'm coming from, that I can tell somebody what I've been through and how I got to where I am. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, when Raquel felt, and I'm going to use the term justification, right? Because the church teaches justification as a first definite work of grace.
Mm-hmm.
When would Raquel say that she felt justification? Justification says, for those who don't know, justification says you are no longer under the wrath of God, under the penalties of his judgment. You have confessed, you have asked the Lord to forgive you, and finally you feel that you have been forgiven and you have been released of the guilt and the conscience and the burden of what I mistakes I made. When did Raquel feel like, yes, I feel a sense of relief. I feel like I can pick up my ministry and I can do it with the joy of the Lord and know that the Lord has forgiven me and want me to make a difference.
When was that? So not long after I had the baby, the church had a banquet, and my at that time, my mom, my sister, and I, we would sing some songs together sometimes. And during that song, I just felt something broke, and it was just time to let go and just let God use me. You know, enough of the hiding, and just let go.
So I know you're a singer. I
Hmm.
don't know if you sing one of these songs like "Spirit Lead Me." And I'm not even sure if that's how it says. If that's how the song goes. You know the song I'm talking
Hmm.
about.
Yes.
Uh, you wanna you can sing a line of that?
I don't remember all the words. I need words, but Spirit lead me with my faith will never wander. I don't remember all the words. I'm sorry,
Yeah. Well, but
but I know which song you're talking about.
yeah, because sometimes we need that moment, that breakthrough, that reminder. Spirit lead me. I am here, not where I want to be. But if I'm going to get to where I need to be, you're going to have to take me and lead me there. Okay, so you felt like okay, that water broke, or that dam broke, or that
Yeah.
chain, oh, like Tasha Cobbs,
Hmm.
break every chain. I
Hmm.
hear the chains falling.
Hmm.
So you, when you felt that moment of the chains are broken, what was the next thing that Raquel do, and how did you approach it? Okay, I am relieved. I am relieved. Somebody says sing, but you'd have to get the word. I would have loved to hear you sing something like that, because I know you're just beautiful singer. I know you can sing, and I wish I had a couple of clips of you singing. I would have played right now, but I thought of it kind of late.
It's okay. Next time.
I thought of it very late. Even when you sang at our church a couple few months ago, I recorded a couple clips of that, and I have it on my phone. Never
Oh
thought of it.
wow.
Never thought
Oh.
of it until, like, oh, I couldn't get it up. It's too late to think of it now. I even thought that
Oh
maybe I could go tap into the regional convention and find something, but all of those things I would have had to pre-think them and then get myself ready to do it. Unfortunately,
wow.
but
Oh, it's
maybe
okay,
maybe
Bishop.
maybe you can sing something for us that you remember,
Hmm.
something that brings your spirit joy. Think about it, and we
Mm-hmm.
can get there.
Okay.
But let's
What is
continue
that?
to talk about the breakout moment. My yesterday is now behind me, and I'm picking up where I left off by the grace of God. I am going to be what He wants me to be, despite what I've been through.
So I've been through a lot. So there was that moment, and then coming back, and then there were other moments also. Um, a little bout of depression, but thank God he brought me through that as well. Um, I don't know, Bishop, it's a lot. And like I said, I don't really talk about these things. One, because I'm not really sure how to verbalize all that's inside. You understand what I'm saying?
So you see,
But
now. So now we're breaking the door open, and that's why one of the reasons I said this program is like therapy. I have heard that from a lot of people who've been in the program. I have never felt better
mm,
before being on this program. I've never felt better. I've never felt more free because now I get a chance to say things that I have never said. I release myself. And I'm not
mm,
saying to castigate, to talk about people, or but for me, to
mhm,
talk for me. How do I set myself free? Because I hear you saying, and this is like public counseling, right? To say,
mhm,
there's a lot that I have not said, and maybe I need to talk to you on an offline program, and say, okay, let's talk about that, because God has blessed me with some of the skills to do with that, to talk with people, and that from pastoral ministry, from studying counseling, from being chaplain, and all of that stuff. I can talk to people. So we're gonna leave some of that because I am hearing some of your pain,
mm.
and I know there is something they maybe not want to talk on the public platform. So now we're gonna have maybe an offline conversation where we can say, yeah, let's talk.
Sure.
Okay. All right. All right. Maybe that's why the Lord wants you to be on this program. Maybe that's how we can get to know Raquel. Because I had no
Mhm.
clue. I know none whatsoever. Absolutely
It's
none.
not a lot. I mean, I just said there's a lot in me, but
Of course,
I am not that interesting, trust me.
I understand that. Okay. So you pick up back your ministry. Tell me about the climb, and we soon let you get out to go get your good sweet sleep so you can get relaxed. And I'm not gonna hold you too long tonight, but tell me about how you climb up the ladder.
Uh, I don't know. Climbing up the ladder. I never saw myself as really climbing up any ladder. I just people
All right. Oh,
request for me to.
okay. You didn't see
Mhm.
yourself climb, but it's okay. They drag you up the ladder. Okay, so let's.
Probably.
All right, so tell me how that go, because everybody seemed to know Raquel is praise singer. She's the first time I heard it, I think it was in the Bronx, Bronx, and I heard that, oh, where she go to church? I didn't know she was. Oh, she goes to Manhattan Church, and I said, whoa, man, she can sing. That was my conclusion, and then I realized, okay.
Hmm. Bishop, I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words. I really don't know. I just know people started asking me to come and sing here, sing there. I was a part of a group, gospel group for a while, a couple years, and that was wonderful as well. Um, and up to this point, as being worship leader for the region, as co-worship leader, by the way, because Brother Ryan Graham is also worship leader. So
Oh yeah, okay,
we're
yeah.
both. But yeah, I never really saw myself doing this on this level. You know, I'm quite fine just being in a church home and serving there. You know.
If you ask most of us, did we envision ourselves doing what the Lord calls us to do? We say no, because our ambition maybe wouldn't tell us our wishes for some people, but our ambition or the opportunities or the road maybe weren't carved out, and that's why God doesn't need us to decide, because He does what He pleases to do and what He chose to do, for His own glory and His honor. So yeah, so I don't see myself being there. I'm not worthy. If you ask me, that's not what I would want to do. But He chose me despite my failures and shortcomings. Okay, so they see me calling and they call me and they invite me to come and they invite me to come, and all of a sudden the regional overseer who called me.
Yeah, I was the regional overseer, like right before convention. But
You mean this convention?
no, no, no.
Oh, many conventions
The,
ago.
what is it? 4 years now? I lose track. But this is my second convention. So I wasn't there for the year that he actually asked me to do it. So yeah.
And by the way, let me just say for those who weren't at this convention, wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But this was an excellent convention.
Praise God. Praise God.
This was an excellent convention. This to me one of the better conventions that we've had from
Wow.
start to finish.
Wow.
And sometimes you
It
some
was good.
conventions you have a good moment.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have a good session. Sometimes you have a good day. This convention was really a good, good weekend. The convention is like it was all
Yeah.
really good.
It was good.
It was
It was
really
good.
good. The
God be the glory.
praise was good on time, and it was timely.
Praise
It was
God.
good. I mean, it was a good convention.
Praise God.
So thank you for your contribution to the kingdom of God. Um, so where does Raquel go now? Where does Raquel go from here?
Well, we'll see what the Lord says. Right now, I am trying to just settle into a local church. I am now a member of Deliverance Temple, Church God of Prophecy in Mount Vernon, New York, under the leadership of Pastor Dr. Lona Beckford.
Hold a second. So you're now in Mount Vernon?
Yes, yes,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. Hmm.
So when did you come to Mount Vernon?
Well, my family moved here in 2019.
Moved in Mount Vernon?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, I didn't know that. See, I didn't know all of that.
Mhm.
I'm running New Rochelle, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And now when I leave, when I retire, before I can find out that you were just right next door.
But we've been to your church. We've
Well, I've seen you
we've
there, but I
visited.
had no clue where you were coming from. I thought it was just Manhattan you were coming from.
Mm,
So the last time
mm.
you came there, you were in Mount Vernon.
Not yet. I just became a member in May.
Oh, okay. So that was just the other day.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So that is breaking news
Oh
for
gosh.
me. For me. I mean, not everybody's breaking news for, but it's breaking news for
Right.
me. Okay. So okay. Well, welcome to Westchester,
Well, thank you.
and thank you for coming after I left.
I'm sorry. I didn't plan it that way. Trust me. I didn't plan it that way.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, God bless you. I hope you do very well. I know you're gonna do well. I know you still. Okay, so see, somebody said that's your sister prodding you on. She say maybe she can sing a verse of "My Hope Is Built" before she leaves.
Wow.
So, and I think it makes sense that you sing something. You know that the rest of people know that you can really sing. I mean, the rest of all of us in the Northeast region know you can sing, and you're very passionate. So, and I should have asked you this. I should have asked you this. Tell me about your passion.
Mm.
Tell me about the passion for praise and worship. How did that develop? What triggers it? What inspires you? That's a good place to maybe bring this kind of to a wrapping up of before you sing us out. Tell me about your passion for praise and worship. I know you've been doing this from childhood days before you had music and etc. etc. But you maintain that for all the years. Some people rise and they fall and they here and they down, but you've consistently kept that even when you were silencing yourself.
Um, well, for me, worship is from the heart. For me, I worship God because I love Him and I am just grateful for who He is in my life. not even so much what he's done, but he's such a loving God. And growing up without my father, there was a big gap there. But I'm grateful for my heavenly Father who has filled in that gap. Um, I One thing I will say, when I get to heaven, I want a big hug from Jesus. I'm a hugger. I
Ah,
love hugs.
that's a big hug from
I
Jesus.
want a big hug from Jesus.
Trust me,
Just want
when you get to heaven, you won't even need a hug.
I
You won't trust me. You you know the song one said, just one glimpse of him in glory, all the
hmm
toils of life repay. When you walk, when you walk into the doors of heaven, hug will be the last thing on your mind, because
probably
your spirit and your mind will be perfected. So there'll be no human desire, no human need, no human wanting to be fulfilled or to be gratified, because the joy of the Lord will be so splendid that the human earthly desires will vanish, because then you're beyond human,
right.
right? Okay. So what drives Raquel's passion for praise and worship, other than I love the Lord, and what motivates you, because the motivation to inspire others.
The motivation. It's the motivation is God. They worship. You worshiping God. I love good music. I love good worship. Now we all can have a whole nother conversation about how to and different forms of aspects of worship, but music plays a lot of it. And unfortunately, in our churches, we don't have as much, and I don't want to get in trouble, but skilled musicians as we need.
Mm-hmm.
We need more skilled musicians to be a part of the worship, to understand worship. I think we hire out a lot of musicians sometimes, and they may not really have a relationship with God, so they may not understand, how to flow in the spirit, or just to hear and to lead. Singers as well, but for me, what drives my passion for worship is just the love of God and wanting to do things in excellence. God is a God of order, and I like to do things in order as well. And I just want to please Him. I want, at the end of the day, we could have the best music, could have the best singers, but if God is not pleased with the worship, it's coming. If your heart has to be right. If God is not pleased with my worship, then what is it all for?
Well, let the word of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable. Because I tell my brethren, God is very picky. I'm growing up to say somebody is picky. God is picky and choosy, and he's meticulous. He doesn't just grab everything. He's not gullible. Jesus made it clean. They say, "Oh, people come out to worship and say, oh yeah, pause now, because I know you. You worship with your lip, but your heart is far from me. You're like whitewashed sepulchre, but you're filled with dead man's bones." So yes, we want to give to God what He will accept, and not what we feel like you just throw it, give Him, and God just take it and run, because God is not desperate for anything. He's
No.
not desperate for anything. So giving true worship, sincere worship, heartfelt worship, it didn't have to be the most what I want to say, perfected or artistically put together,
Right.
and all the pieces together.
hmm
Those are great, as you say,
hmm
if the musicians are
hmm
sincere as well.
hmm
If the musicians are not sincere, they can play the music, but they won't play with heart. So when the musicians are playing with their hearts, and the singers are singing with their hearts, there is no greater joy. There's
Yeah.
no greater joy. It's not just notes and keys, but boy, my
Right.
heart and my soul is there, and
Yes.
I can feel when a musician is playing because I'm in this with you.
Hmm.
You know, I'm in this with you.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Raquel Bonnick, our regional Northeast Minister of Music, Northeast Region and the Bermuda Minister of Music. All right, so your sister says, sing us something. If you don't want to sing My Hope is Built, you can say, I got faith. It's not over until God said it's over.
Hmm. Uh, the only song that's in my head, and I don't know if it's because I had to sing it at a memorial service this weekend, is I Can Only Imagine. It's one of my favorite songs.
Okay,
Um,
we will imagine with you.
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine, Lord. I
I
can
can
only
only
imagine.
imagine. All right, I just imagine with you. You know, if I was having an opportunity, maybe we could I could harmonize something with you one of these. But who knows? Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I appreciate you joining me on the program. Is there something that I didn't ask that Raquel wish I had asked, or she'd like to tell me? That I didn't know because I didn't know anything to ask. I was just kind of taking my little steps with you and see what I could gain and glean.
No, not really. I love to laugh. I love humor. I love good food. I am a, well, I can't claim that I'm a foodie on public,
I understand that.
station, but but I do love um,
What's your favorite food? Give me the American one version, then the Jamaican version.
the American one would be cereal. Anybody who knows me know I love cereal. Any kind
Cereal,
of
just
yes, I know.
regular original cereal.
Yes, porridge, cornmeal porridge. It could be cornflakes. It could be oatmeal porridge. I like cereal.
Okay,
I know
is that
you ever
because it's
do.
light and easy?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I know
Okay.
you didn't expect that. I know.
No, no. No, Jamaican love macaroni and cheese and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so what's the Jamaican special food that you like?
Jamaican's oxtails with
Okay,
rice and peas and
okay,
fried plants, sweet fried plantains. You have to
okay.
have the plantains.
Real
Yes,
ripe plantain. Yeah.
yes. Hmm.
Okay.
And the green callaloo,
Callaloo with codfish or
catfish,
just
callaloo with
pure.
anything, everything, callaloo with
Oh yeah.
everything. It's
Oh yeah.
good. Yes, and it's good for
Uh,
you.
actually, it's good for you. Actually, it's good for you. And I've had quite a bit for the last couple of days myself because I planted that and did you know that
Mm,
callaloo can stay in your refrigerator in your freezer for 10 years?
really? No, I
You
did not
didn't
know
know?
that.
Okay,
I did not know
you
that.
well. I maybe have callaloo in my refrigerator for many years.
Wow.
Cut it up, put it in a Ziploc bag,
Hmm.
put it in the freezer. It stays there for years. You take it out and
Yeah.
it's fresh as if you just cut it.
That's quite interesting. We don't have that time with Callaloo in my house. You
Yeah,
know, 10 years that
because
that won't happen.
I planted it and reaped a lot, reaped a
Wow.
lot. So
Okay.
I had to really cut it up and realize that, oh, this thing would last for long, long, long.
Mm, mhm. I love escovitch fish too. So the
Okay,
fish before the oxtail, more
okay.
so.
Oh,
Yeah.
fish more because of the healthy
Yes.
reasons.
Yes. But it's good too. I like it. Hmm.
My wife is somewhere here. My wife is here. Okay, somewhere here asking where is Sister Beckford. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Well, last year you're still early, Juliet. Juliet, you're still early. That's gonna last for a long time. You don't have to hurry it up. You don't have to eat in a hurry. We'll stay there for another couple of years. I promise you. Oh well, my friend, thank you so much for joining me and Raquel. I get a chance to talk to the sister, know a little bit about her. I didn't know she was born American. You know, that's where I started. I thought she was Jamaican. You know, I didn't know she was only from Jamaican descent. I just
Yeah.
realized that. But God bless you. Thank you for
Thank
spending some
you.
time with me. Thank you for sharing with me your time, and I hope that you
Mm.
get your good sleep,
Yes, I'm
right? You
sure I
get your
will.
good sleep. And I hope that even after talking to me tonight, you go back and say, wow, wow, I put myself out there.
I sure did. Thank you
But
much.
but God did that to a reason. God
Yes.
does that to a reason because you're going to be able, that's going to be a blessing. So I put mine in a lock container, a glass better, no ice getting it in there. Okay. All right. So everybody talking about color now. So I broke the ice on how you can
It's
preserve
good
your color.
stuff. Okay. Thank
And let
you.
me just say, even if ice get in your frozen bag, it doesn't affect your color. Let me just say that. It will be as good as ever 3, 4 years from now. Promise you.
Wow.
Jesus told them, we speak of what we know and testify of what we have seen.
All right
And
now.
I'm telling you about experience. Okay.
Okay.
All right, my friends, thank you for joining us. And yes, if you never read my book, Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold Me Hostage to My Past, you need to read this. This one brings hope and healing. And if you want to be inspired, there are more than 200 thoughts in this one. The Power of Thoughts. May
Mm.
God bless you tonight. Thank you for joining me, Raquel. I
Thank
wish
you
you
so
all the
much for
best.
having me, Bishop.
Sorry you come next door to New Rochelle when I left.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
I'm not gonna forgive you for that.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just kidding. But I'm
But you're
surprised.
still here. We can still link up.
Well,
You're
I'm
still in
here.
New York, right?
No,
Okay.
no,
All right.
I moved.
I didn't know that.
I moved. That's why
Okay.
I said you came when I left. I'm speaking to you from
Right.
Florida.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm speaking to you from Florida.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Love that for you, Bishop. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
yeah. Well, thank
Hmm.
you. I'm taking on another chapter in my life to see where the Lord brings. As you were, I retired
Hmm.
in the convention after
Yes.
46 years of ministry.
Wow.
We decided, yeah, we gotta take a break. I'm gonna
Hmm.
repurpose my ministry. Repurpose.
Really
I'm gonna try to pour into others, help to
great.
develop others, and talk to people like you, and help to be a source of
Mhm.
inspiration to others. And maybe I can do a little bit of counseling,
Great.
and
Mm, the world needs it.
help people who struggle, because I realize
Yeah.
that we have not done that. We have not done that. We have
Not
not
enough.
done that. We have not done that for relationships. We have not done
Hmm.
that for people who are struggling with their faith. We have
Right.
not done with people who are struggling with their walk, how to understand, their daily walk. We have not done that in restoring those who are
Right.
fallen.
Right.
And so my hope is that God will enable me to do that in many different ways. And I think this medium is one of the way that the Lord is using that, because just how we have this
Hmm.
conversation tonight, somebody will listen this tonight or tomorrow or the next day,
Hmm.
and it could be help for them as well.
I pray so.
Yeah.
Pray so.
So thank you for joining me. Thank you for
Thank you for
joining me to
having me,
my
Bishop.
friends. I look forward to
Hmm.
seeing you again next week. I have somebody else next week and the next week and the next week. So you got to stay connected with ORB Ministries. You may subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, and I do TikTok as well. I do TikTok as well. I was inspired to pray. I was inspired to pray yesterday for some people. And let me see where this is now. This TikTok, but I prayed. It has already has, let me see how many people have viewed it. There is 11,500 who have viewed it already. 400 plus who have liked it and made it their favorite because God inspired me to pray for people. And I just did that yesterday and I've gotten so many responses because there's so many
Mhm.
broken people, there's so many hurting
Yes,
people. We
absolutely.
got to find hope. And the Lord has blessed me to help to bring some hope in both I
Wonderful.
counsel, talk with, pray with, and hopefully I can help to change some lives no matter where I am. Because you did know that I'm in
Mm.
Florida, and
I did not.
so are those who are in Kenya and around the
Mm-hmm.
world didn't know where I am.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
distance doesn't matter with the Lord.
Doesn't matter. Amen.
I'll see you again next week, my friends, on another Let's Talk with the Doc. Just stay connected, follow. And as a matter of fact, I'm hoping that the Lord is gonna bless me to do maybe an inspirational thing on a regular basis, on a weekly basis. I don't know how many times a week, but I'm still kind of weighing that out in my life. What will the Lord have me to do that can be consistent and be a source of inspiration and blessing to others? So stay connected. You're gonna stay there, Raquel. We're gonna
Okay.
go off just like how we came on, but I'm gonna say bye
Okay.
to my friends. I'll see you again next week on another Let's Talk with the Doc. Until then, stay strong, stay connected, stay faithful, and stay hopeful. God has not given up on you. Don't give up on yourself. I'll see you again on another Let's Talk with the Doc. Well, thank you for checking in on ORB Ministries. I trust that you will share with your friends, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and stay tuned because you never know what's next or who will join the conversation.